All right, let's get into today's show. I'm going to start with some of the biggest developments of the weekend. Some of the biggest developments of the weekend include South Carolina's big commitment weekend. Yeah, they didn't play great against Ole Miss, but that didn't stop them from racking up commitments. Wide receiver Malik Clark, he commits. He was a recent decommitment from Florida State. They add another wide receiver, Jordan Gidron, and tight end Jamel House, who's in the 2026 class. So South Carolina, although they didn't win on the field, their recruiting momentum is there, and you see it. There's also Donovan Murph. He's still trending. Another elite wide receiver who just reclassified as well. He's trending to South Carolina, and maybe by the end of the weekend, he could be committed. We'll see. Donovan Murph, I know Steve Wiltfong already put a pick in for him, but 3 commitments this weekend, South Carolina fans. How are you feeling about that? The next major development I want to talk about is Georgia suffered a decommitment. Or did they? Stefan Shivers says that he is reopening his recruitment, but in the same breath, he kind of says that he's still committed. So is he reopening or is he committed? I'm going to say he's more on the side of decommitment, maybe. To go out on Saturday morning and say that you're reopening your recruitment, I think there's a message behind that. I think that he wants to kind of keep his foot in that UGA class, but 2, he wants to take a look around. So it's 6'4.5", 380 pounds. He committed to Georgia in March, but now ready to maybe take a look around. We'll see what Shivers ends up doing. We're going to talk more about that with Jeremy Johnson coming up here in a minute. But right now, I want to talk Prize Picks. And Prize Picks is great. You guys know the game. You pick 2 or more players, then select more or less on their stat line. I've been going hard on Travis Hunter and over on his receiving yards. But with Colorado on the bye, I took Cam Ward more than on the passing yards. Bang, I hit on that. Then I took Carson Beck more than 250 yards. Oh, Carson Beck throws for 240. What about you guys? How are your picks this weekend? I love Prize Picks. It's easy. It's fun. It's a great way to play daily fantasy while you watch your favorite college football teams. Let me know your lineup. I got to hit some winners this week. Who we taking? I saw that Colorado-Kansas State lines are out. Give me some winners. Comment section below. Prize Pick is the most fun way to make a little money during football season. Here's what we're going to do. Go to prizepicks.com/inside scoop and use promo code inside scoop. When you deposit $5, you get $50. So even if you put that $5 in and you lose, you still are going to have $50 there to keep and play with. So go to prizepicks.com/inside scoop and use promo code inside scoop. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. All right, let's get into the next major development. That was Georgia beats Auburn twice on Saturday. Yes, they won on the field 31-13, but the other win, it came at 11 a.m. on Saturday morning when number 5 running back Usman Kroma committed to Georgia over Auburn. So in the same day that Georgia beat Auburn on the field, they also beat them for the number 5 ranked running back in America. Now Tennessee, Florida State, they were both in it, but when it came down to decision time, there was 2 teams that mattered. It was Georgia. It was Auburn. Georgia wins out, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think Georgia really spent the time recruiting Kroma as much as some of these other teams, but when you're hot, and Kroma wanted on board, he commits to the Dogs. All right, next development we got to talk about. The Mario Nash recruitment is heating up. He's a committed offensive tackle. He committed to Mississippi State in June, but it just feels like his recruitment is taking off. This weekend, he took an official visit to FSU. It's 6'4", 270 out of the state of Mississippi. That's not going to be his last visit he takes. Now, Ole Miss, FSU, and LSU are kind of the main teams right now trying to flip Mario Nash from Mississippi State. But when you look at the available offensive tackles in America, I mean, right now there's only one uncommitted 5-star. That's Andrew Babalola. None of the teams mentioned are really in it for him. So I'm not quite sure that these are going to be the final teams that end up trying to flip Mario Nash from Mississippi State. But this weekend, he was at Florida State on that official visit, talked to Steve Wiltfong. He thinks that FSU has a great shot to land him, that they can land him, but his recruitment's not over. Like I said, still committed to Mississippi State, but Ole Miss, FSU, LSU, they're all circling. All right, the last major development of the weekend was 5-star defensive lineman Jaem Stewart finally making the announcement that he intends to reclassify. He'll no longer be the number 1 recruit in the 2026 class. He moves himself up to the 2025 class. We're going to talk more about this with Shea Dixon, but what it means is he has about 10 to 12 weeks before he makes a decision. Steve Wiltfong says that he is going to sign on the early signing period in mid-December. So his recruitment really begins now. And this weekend, he's going to take a visit to Oregon. That'll be an official visit. He's also going to take official visits to LSU, Ohio State, and USC. So we see 4 teams coming out, emerging as the favorites. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we have another team or two, maybe a Texas, maybe a Miami, maybe an Alabama, enter the picture. But in the end, I think LSU probably the favorite here. Ohio State, USC, Oregon, they're all going to try to sway him. Now, he's from the state of Louisiana. He'll be ranked the number 2 player in that state for this class. LSU already has Harlan Berry, the number 1 player in the state of Louisiana, committed to them. Are they going to add Jaem Stewart as well? We'll see. The race for Jaem Stewart starts today because he is now part of the 2025 class. So those are the major developments. What do you guys think was the most important development of the weekend? Was it something maybe that I didn't even mention, or was it one of these? Let me know. Comment section below.